Hello, everybody, and welcome to G for G Games for Gamers. Today we are over in World of Warcraft, the Warlords of Draenor, and this is an episode of the game so far. So, it is the Monday after launch. Launch, of course, was Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
You are welcome among the Shadow Path.
And here we are, not quite a week later. And I'm going to walk out into my garrison, kind of show you everything that has happened here. I'm in my tavern at the moment, and I am picking up a daily dungeon quest. You may remember some of those from the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, when there were the two Archmages over by the Violet Hold that gave you dungeon quests for the day. One of them is actually still there, and then the other one tells you, I predict that you'll go and talk to the other guy. I believe the name of one of the guys was Timir. And, so yes, once you get a tavern at your garrison, you accomplish something similar to that, where you get 2 dungeon quests in a day. Here I am walking up to Teoshi, who, if I remember correctly, was one of the Shadowpan Daily pandas. And she is giving me a quest to get the bottled windstorm from Skyreach. So far, I've seen the Nightmare Bell in Alcadoon, this Skyreach one, there's an Iron Docks one, and there's a Blood Maul Slagmines one. So here is my tavern at the moment. It's got nice 2-level effect with the hedge, and there goes my monitor blanking out for stupid Steam. Alright, so we're back. Yeah, just something about Steam minimized my WoW over there. It's happened. So, yep, nice 2-level tavern over here. Sleeping quarters upstairs. The Herring. And here's my level 2 fort at the moment. I have the mines are up this way. Over here I have the barracks for my follower. I'm an enchanter, so I've got the enchanting area down here. And I've got some work orders. Basically, you use your dust to put in work orders. And you get crystals and everything. If you are not an enchanter and you get the enchanter study, you have this cauldron that will disenchant gear for you. It acts like you have a personal disenchanter.
State your business.
You can turn in books as you make them to learn your recipes. This is how you level up. Well, not level up. That's how you gain new abilities here for your enchanting. Is you turn in books to her that you make. And then the other member that you have over here is the person who takes the work orders. Over there is your warboard. Over here is my bank. It's going to be level 2 as soon as I get my 1,000 resources and upgrade it. Back in there in the upper left is the herb garden. I can go in there daily and farm herbs the same way I can go into the mines and farm herbs. Blizzard has instituted something new, and here is a perfect example of it. When you go into dungeons, if you fail to pick up loot, Blizzard will go ahead and actually mail you gear that you pass up, including gold and crappy grays. So as you can see here, I missed a 1 gold, 42 silver talon, and I missed a 20 silver plumage, and I missed this piece of crap gray. Alright, 3 gold's not too bad, but yeah, so that's gonna get annoying over there. I don't really see the need for it. If I want to leave some Turdlick gray out there, you know, I really should have the ability to do so. If I wasn't trying to close in on some more garrison resources, I would be picking up this excess potion of accelerated learning. It is sort of like the old, the scribes stuff that they produced an expansion or 2 ago, where scribes could give you something that would accelerate. I think it was the Dungeon Journal or the Dungeoner's Journal, Adventurer's Journal, something like that. That was the old thing that scribes would make that helped you level. But I am kind of hoarding my resources at the moment, so I'm not going to be picking this up. And you can see there are some other things over here. Summons an enchanted crystal that periodically freezes enemies. You can only use it in your garrison. Again, when your garrison is under attack. And another one over here.
Okay, okay.
So, since this is the first time I've been in the game over the night, I let my followers do the longer missions, like the 10-hour ones, and we're going to see the results. A couple dings there on the followers, that's pretty cool. And Gronstalker Rokash is my highest follower. He's really been doing a lot of work. I do like Olin. He's one of the first ones you get. Morketh actually came to me as an epic because he got upgraded right as he got hired. So, what I like to do for the garrison quest is I like to focus on the long ones as I'm going to bed for the night. And I will cycle these guys during the day while I'm playing. Sometimes even the leveling experience is a little bit longer for me because I'm constantly returning to my garrison to recycle these guys. You know what it reminds me of? It really reminds me of the flight deck in Marvel Avengers Alliance that you see a lot of videos on that on my channel over here. So this is sort of the WoW version of the flight deck. So since I'm starting my play session for the night, I'm going to look at the ones that are an hour or under. And we can see over here, this one has deadly minions, so Gronstalker can counter that. But I like to save him for some higher level ones, so I'm going to throw Kaz over there. Alright, she's got a 78% chance to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and send her out there. Hapless Heroes, it looks like it's a 2-follower one. Deadly Minions, and a magic debuff. Unfortunately, I don't have a counter for that. But Gronstalker is going to do a huge amount of work over there, so I'm just going to slap somebody else in for help. Bump that up a little bit. Alright, 81 should be good. We'll go with that. Ancient Affliction, we need to speed up over here. Shadow Hunter, he's got a counter to it, but... Alright, yeah, that's reasonable. We have Immortal Strike over here. Let's see if Penny Clobberbottom. Alright, Penny's looking good over there. And Artillery Suppression. We have Danger Fields. That's what I picked up for. Okay, so this is probably the most missions I've had out at one point, and that's 5. They usually average about 2 or 3. So these guys are off to make work. Eventually, when you get a full garrison over here, you have somebody who sits over here and can replay all of the cinematics that you've seen. As you can see here, my barracks is ready to get leveled up. I'm just waiting on the 900 resources. So what's been happening on the game so far? Well, obviously launch night and launch day was really, really rough. That was a major problem for a lot of people, and it's almost become, it's almost achieved the level of meme status out there on the web. I mean, you're seeing GIFs of people jumping off of bridges, basically, that they just were not able to sign into WoW, and you know, queues were up in the thousands for some areas, and queue times were like an hour, and there are a lot of very, very angry people out there about it. If you look around YouTube, there are some very, very irate, I mean, we're talking fat fucking Francis level of irate people out there as to how WoW was performing. And let's see, does she have anybody? Okay, yep. I have to probably wait until Tuesday for this to reset. But you can use her to find specific recruits for you. You can set her to do it by trait or by ability. So if you don't have a magic debuff cleanser, she can find you that. Or she can find you people who might be good at alchemy or enchanting or anything. So it's pretty versatile. Sort of reminds me of the tavern in Heroes of Might Magic Online, which unfortunately is no longer available. I played that for many, many years on the web. Really liked it. So, yeah, the queue times. Some areas, they were just super, super bad, and it was taking people forever to log in, and they were having an absolutely miserable time trying to get in, and it led to some super angry videos out there. And, you know, to be honest, I just didn't have that level of upsettedness that some people did. I mean, I just, I didn't find it was worth getting that angry over, mostly because you figured, like, you knew it was gonna happen. You absolutely knew that the launch time was going to be such a pain in the ass. I mean, I was actually taking off of work that day. I was called it in as a sick day. It wasn't planned, but I have some planned vacations this week. And I sat there and said, all right, I'm going to take a nap and I'm going to wake up at 3 o'clock. Well, it actually launched about 15 minutes early. Like 2:45 people were in, and there was that huge issue outside the garrison. And it was kind of a shame because the garrison isn't just a game perk, it is the whole questing in the beginning of the game over here, and everybody was just sitting out there at the landscapers tool and was unable to click it and go further. And Blizzard's fix for it was very reminiscent, at least to me, of the submarine battle in Vashjina way back in the Cataclysm launch, where that whole instant submarine battle was so buggy that they just gave you the achievement. They're like, okay, you did it, here's the achievement for the zone, it counts. Normally you had to do like 100 quests for the zone in order to get credit, and it got knocked down to like 88 or something like that. And that was that. And now what they did is they just basically, if you came within 10 feet of that device, it just gave you credit and let you proceed. So of course that pissed off a lot of people. I just went and did other things. I did the beta, so I said, okay, well, I can't progress over here. I'm just going to wander off to this other town. I'm going to collect flight paths, and you know, and I'll come back to it when it's fixed. Archaeology's changed considerably. You sit at a site for a long time now. I think it's something like 6 hits that you get when you go and do archaeology. So it gets a little boring, but you know, it's not too bad. Dungeons are what you would expect. I've noticed that, and I knew this going into the live version, and this was due to my time in the beta, your heroic and mythic level gear from Warlords, from Siege of Ogrimmar, really carries very well into Warlords. My druid is now 97 and change, and these boots over here, these level 600 boots, and these 600 shoulders, and these rings at 600, those were the only upgrades that I've gotten, and I needed to be 96 and higher to pick those up. 90 through 95 was just not much of an upgrade at all. So it really shows you that the loot curve is it's very nice to people who put in a lot of hard work throughout Mists of Pandaria, but by the same token, people who were maybe just fresh to the game, didn't play MOP because they didn't like pandas, and I had a lot of friends who refused to do anything with that last expansion. You know, you got some really good level gear early on in this game, it just wasn't going to make you feel like everything you did in Siege was a pile of useless shit. And do I have a... I think I have a creature in here today. I think so? Something is highlighted on my map over here. Oh, no, that's upstairs. Okay. I had some people who yesterday said their mines were repopulated with enemies, and I thought it was the skull icon over there, but it's the light blue of having to talk to my flight master for a quest. So what do I think of the launch so far for Warlords? I like it a lot. I did the right thing in the beta this time around that I did not do in Miss. In Miss, I played through the first 3 levels, maybe 3.5 levels. And, you know, I got up to like 88 or so, and then the girlfriend joined. And I went all the way backwards to the 85 stuff. And I was bringing her up with me because I'm a tank, so, you know, I had her on my back as we were doing the dungeons and the questing all over again. And then we got to 90, and then we did a pretty extensive amount of 90 work over there. We were getting a lot of reps. We got the Sky Dragon reps and everything like that. And it led me to go into MOP. I knew everything about it. I mean, I knew exactly where I wanted to go. I was able to really be a good resource to the guild, but I was burnt out. Like, just a little into MOP. It felt like I had done it already, and it was sort of boring, and it made the expansion very boring, and it burnt itself out with me very quickly. So for this beta, my druid got transferred over. He gained 2.5, maybe 3 levels. I played around with a level 100 that was a clone of my account over here, and toured the entire place, but I didn't do a lot of questing. I did get in some dungeons, didn't get into raids, and I feel it gave me a solid base for the game, but it didn't burn everything out yet. And it was a really good mix. Did a really good job of setting this expansion up to know what I was doing, but not decide like, wow, I just did all this already. The raids look like maybe we're only going to have 2 tiers in here, maybe a very fast expansion. Hopefully that will not be the case. But if it's going to be a fast expansion, at least make the time quick. Like, only give us a year. To me, there was nothing worse than coming up through Warlords, coming up through Siege, and knowing that there was no new content there. There was no Hallion. There was no Wrath dungeons. There, you know, Ice Crown dungeons. There was no Twilight dungeons coming. You had to sit there forever in Throne of Thunder, and you had to sit... Ooh, a Pexus crystal. That's cool. And you had to sit there forever in Siege, and it just... Like, it absolutely destroyed me. I mean, after I had been doing it on Flex for so long, and then the normals and everything, I just didn't want to put my tank in there anymore. If it was my alt, fine. If my bear was in there as, you know, kitty DPS, I was fine, but it just... You spent too much time in the last 2 raids, and hopefully they do not do that again, or if they plan on doing it, give us filler content. Give us a Hallion down in the Dragon Temple. Give us the Twilight dungeons. Give us the ICC dungeons again. Don't let us rot. So, at least Mythic hopefully will be a very nice challenge. They know what they're doing in terms of the tuning of it. They know they're going to tune it to 20 people, and they kind of have an idea that you'll have 2 tanks. You know, the 4 to 6 healers in there, and hopefully there'll be some play in that. You don't have to worry about bringing 3 or 4 tanks nowadays and have that 1 tank who can do DPS. It's, you know, it's your 2 tanks. That's it. And it'll be really worth looking forward to it. The mount the level of mounts that you deal with in this game will probably be incredible, and you can get a item or a plot here at your garrison that will allow you to deal with additional mounts and everything like that. Let me see, the storehouse, the barracks, the fishing shack. I haven't opened the fishing shack yet. Waiting to so I've got the mines at level 2. The herb garden hasn't been leveled up yet. The barracks, of course, for me are waiting, and I'm definitely looking forward to bringing that up. At level 2, you have a follower with the bodyguard trait can accompany you as a guardian in Draenor, so somebody like Olin will be out and about walking around. Here are the stables. Level 3 stables will increase your mount speed by 20%. You'll no longer get dazed by enemies while riding mounts in outdoor zones. And you can capture and train special mounts on Draenor. It allows you to remain mounted while interacting with objects, so you can mine an herb and not get off your pony. My storehouse, I'm definitely looking to upgrade to 2 because that will give me access to my guild bank. So I think that is highly recommended for anybody who's in a guild who can just sit there and dump ore and herbs right into their guild bank and help them out, especially if they're not an alchemist or, you know, an engineer, blacksmith. The dungeons are certainly fun. I've enjoyed the ones that I've played so far, and I do know some of them from the beta, and I'm getting to know ones that I haven't played yet. And definitely looking forward to getting into the heroics. I think the leveling of this game has been working out pretty well. I've got a member of the guild who leveled in Mop, maxed out in 22 hours. He managed to do it in this expansion in 16. I've got a member who has one level 100 and then started on a second. He used a easy one to win a contest to be the first to 100. And then he went back and he actually leveled his rating tune to 100. So, it's really an enjoyable expansion. I think the garrison was a highly needed item that Blizzard had to do, and I think they're pulling it off. I think it is different from other housing, like the housing that you had in Lord of the Rings Online, like the Wildstar one. That's certainly the biggest comparison, is your plots of land in Wildstar, and you know, it's a little less fun than the Wildstar ones, but at the same time, it also has more value, I think, than that. So, I hope you enjoyed a report on the game so far here for the WoD launch. Things do seem to be getting rather stable towards the tail end of this first week that is up. And, you know, hopefully I'll be able to get some more videos out when I get close to 100 and start doing the heroics and the later dungeons, the full-blown Ubers and stuff like that. Hope you enjoyed this video here on G4G, Games for Gamers. Take care, everybody.